Oh, I thought it was floating.
Is that all, that thing that's in like the bottom
You're
center?
half right, Rennie.
I'm half right. It's a crab with something on its back.
You're also half right.
Still half right. It's a squat
Something
lobster.
on the back of something else.
Squat lobster
Is that
with...
sea star?
It's a thing with no crab.
No, there's a crab.
Okay, video. Go ahead and
Looks
come
like
in
a
slow.
hermit crab.
I feel like I should
All right,
enchen.
you're getting
like,
warmer. You got the
as
type
we-
of crab now.
A hermit crab?
It's living inside a...
What is on its back?
Oh my gosh.
Nobody's ever seen this before?
No.
No. What are you doing?
Well, it's right.
Get-
If you look at, see it on, yeah.
Yeah, you can see him on the bubble cam, but you
Right.
can also see him right here.
We accept volunteer samples.
Slurp him up.
All right, video, go ahead and push in
So
there a
what's
bit.
Might not go too
What's
well.
going on here, Steve?
There
Okay,
you
so what we have
What the
here
heck?
What the?
go. What?
is
Just like
a,
the tilt. You're good?
a
I'm
crab,
good. Yeah, I'm just flying a bit.
a type of hermit crab. Instead of a shell, what it has on its back is a zoanthid.
What?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 polyps. Sometimes they're out and it looks like a fuzzy like puffball. I think
Go ahead and
sometimes
push
it
in a
looks
bit
like
there, a little bit more video.
if you were to
Zooming in
blow up
more.
an examination
That's good.
glove. That's kind of what it looks like.
Zoanthid.
That looks so cool.
Never seen that.
Yeah. All right.
Looks like a
Excuse me,
reindeer.
guys. We're gonna pull. Come line, please, video.
Come on.
All right. Gonna start moving again. That was different.
Wow.
We aim to please here on Nautilus Live.
Huh.
That felt like when the teacher puts a trick question on the test. No one's seen before.
Coming up.
I think I might wait
Mother
another
Nature's
couple
full of trick
minutes
questions.
before I
That's like her deal.
call in the step, because it's deceiving. You were kind of just under Argus, even though it looked like we were.
Yeah. Gonna come up a bit there on the delta there, Dan.
Yep, coming up.
Thanks.
So I didn't catch the full issue with the meso. It was 90 out.
For some reason, the Herc Mezzo was 90 off. I've seen it 180 off, but I've never seen it 90 off.
Can we zoom into this fan coming up mid-screen?
Sure.
Briefly, I think it's a Bathypathes, but get a quick screen grab. Yeah, this
Go ahead and push in there, video.
much more diversity here than the other sites we were at.
That's good.
I think it's Bathypathes.
These polyps don't seem as red.
Yeah, Bathypathes varies
You're good on the delta there, Dan. You're at 28.
varies in color widely. Red to pink to pale.
Huh.
Yeah,
Is that good for you, Steve, there?
I think that'll suffice. Yeah.
Roger, come wide.
We've been running a little low on the altitude. Probably have a bit higher delta today.
Roger.
Steep
Yeah.
or lower if you're further out. High delta while you're under us.
Yeah, totally.
Ooh, there's something off to the left there.
Like it as we drive by.
Yeah, Dan, I brought this so if you get ever those bored moments.
Go ahead and push in there a bit there, video.
I have a couple of these at home.
My mom got that for my brother and I for Christmas. Not one. I got two, but...
I never can get the combination right.
Very nice.
Steve, Steve, let me know when you got your,
Good.
Got it.
All
Yeah.
right.
So
Alright,
what are we
come
looking
wide
at,
there.
Steve?
Don't
So
mind.
this is a black coral. I'm trying to find a better ID right now.
coming up.
It almost looks like the one we sampled a couple times ago.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So we sampled, I think it was Trissopathes. I just wanted to check if this is Trissopathes or something else, or could be Chrysopathes too. Leaning towards Chrysopathes. Another primnoid fan, Paracalyptrophora there. I think I'll write it in the chat, Chrysopathes is what we're gonna call that for now. Although, I'm between the two. Black corals are so confusing. But people say that about octocorals too.
So that was another one of those hermits with the zoanthid on it.
Seems like that, yep.
I bet they're coming from this coral utopia that we've got coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they didn't tell me much. They just told me just go there and you'll be, go there and see.
Go there and see. It's biblical.
Yeah. But some of this rubble is absolutely massive. This coral rubble chunks that have broken off. It's pretty old too. It's really discolored. And some of the earliest coral rubble we were seeing on this dive on the other mound was partially manganese coated, so indicating it had been there for quite some time.
Randy, what's the distance to target?
Distance to target 165.
Roger. You can go ahead and dial another move if you want.
Last time I did that at this stage, we were cutting it close. I'm gonna wait till you get a little far ahead, maybe like another minute, 30 seconds, something like that.
I mean, I can boogie forward faster.
Yeah, we're just on the sheet rock bridge nav.
You're still pretty close there, Jess. Argus and Herc.
30 meters,
I'm
bearing
looking down.
060.
So you think this is lava flows?
Thank you.
Yeah, these are lava flows.
I love how geology is like, yes, this is a lava flow.
Yep.
Whereas in corals, we're like, it might be this, but
I
be
mean,
that.
Another
if you
hermit crab.
I would
Get
guess
down
it's an
chemistry.
old lava flow, just because of how broken up it was at the bottom. It seemed like the whole sheet was then disintegrating, right?
I mean, old is a relative
Sure, of
term.
course.
Like, I don't know, like, it's weird because in geology terms, you can get stuff that's like 4.2 billion years old, or you can find zircons that are like 4.4 billion years old, and then it's like, oh,
This
these,
is not that old.
yeah, these are,
But it's not fresh, I'll tell you that.
yeah, it's definitely not fresh. We've got nice, beautiful manganese coating over everything. Even like some of the more jagged corners have some rounding to them, so they broke a while ago. Yeah, these would be, I don't know, fun. I'm also kind of curious about if the top and like the more like, I don't know how to describe the stuff under it, if they're all part of the same flow, or if the stuff below it's an older flow and the top stuff is a different flow, because like where they break, like one of them's like all, I don't know how to describe it.
Zoom on crab to the right.
Like there's flat stuff on
Sure.
the top breaks, but then the bottom, like it's all a bunch of pieces that are like more rounded on the breakage.
We could probably break a piece of that crust off right there.
Oh, we can't have any more rock samples though. They
Go ahead, video and
they
zoom in,
used up all our
please.
rock samples. Oh, that was a cool crab.
Yep. So that's
What if we rammed into it and it accidentally fell on the porch?
All right, come my
Oh,
video.
I mean, I can't stop it. I mean, if it falls on the porch, I mean, how are we gonna get it off the porch?
I know, right?
Do you want to come up a bit there on a delta there,
That's
Dan?
pretty incriminating.
Come on.
well, you know,
Intent.
fortunately, like if we want more samples, we just have to talk to Tim, and we can maybe get some more samples allotted to our permits. But that's the reason why we're frustrated by the sample capacity.
There's another cup coral there to the
Oh,
right.
it's not because we're full on the boxes, it's because of the permits.
Yeah.
This time we actually do have, we could technically grab one, but there's no space for it.
Are any of the starboard boxes, the outboard boxes have rocks, right?
Yeah, each outboard box has 2 rocks in it.
Okay.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
man,
I mean,
that's
if
a
it's
dangerous
really
game.
distinctive, like we only have 7 rocks then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
If it's really distinctive, I think, you know, if we image it properly, we could take one more,
okay.
provided that.
You guys are crazy. Three rocks in a box.
3 rocks
Get
in
down
a
the
box.
lab and everyone's scratching their heads, looking back at photos.
No.
I've been there.
Batfish.
We have a team of geologists on board that can
Yeah.
easily
Yeah.
tell rocks apart.
Okay, what we have here is 3 black rocks. Does anyone know what we're looking at?
If you want to know crazy geologists carrying rock stories, like you go out to a field camp and like it's a free for all. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. And all of a sudden your backpack's full of rocks and like you're dumping
Good
your
video
food
push in there,
because you
please.
want to get more rocks.
Video push in, please.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks.
with these things, we've so when we had the older bio boxes, what, in like 2012, 2013, when did we get the new boxes?
2015, I think.
2015? We used to just load up those bio boxes with samples, and it used to be much harder to tell apart. Now that there's more compartments and things, it's a little bit easier.
All right, go ahead and come wide their video.
Hi, coming wide. I remember one year we had like 2 rocks on the front porch because we ran out of room.
What's all this, like, brownish rubble pieces?
Yeah, that's stony
Coral.
coral bits.
Ah.
So how many corals had to die to make that graveyard?
Potentially none. The
Coming up.
crazy part is that, well, you see a bunch of these coral bases here, right?
Yeah.
So there were corals there at one time. Right next to where we sampled that bronze-colored octocoral, we also saw a live one of these that produces this material.
Dan, would you
So
mind
there's
coming up
probably
on
another
the
live one
winch
right
bit
there.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Basically what happens is that corals will continue to produce their skeleton until they get too heavy and they fall and they die. However, part of the colony still survives, potentially, and just keeps on producing, and they just keep on producing and producing, and you're creating these rubble fields, provided that they're attached.
Given that it's a colonial organism, is there a limit at which the whole organism is dead under natural causes, or is it like, well, it just keeps going until something changes, say like gets too heavy for its own weight, or the current changes, or something like that?
Yeah, interestingly, you know, we know that both shallow water and deep water corals are similar in this respect, that they will continue to live and thrive provided their environment is habitable and hospitable for hundreds to thousands of years. They know from taking cores of, you know, coral reefs in the tropics these days that, you know, the same reef or the same coral has been growing in that place for hundreds or thousands of years. And sometimes they call them the ancients. You know, as long as nothing kills the coral, it will continue to grow, calcify. And, yeah.
I knew that about sponges. Those things last, they just will be there forever.
Yeah.
What I think is crazy, I think about when we're doing work like this, is we come down and we see a snapshot of it in a single place that's never seen light, and we drop down and we see what's living at that moment, and it's probably never going to be seen again. Well, what used to like get me excited was that no one's ever seen this before, but now I start to think about the other end, is that like no one's good. This is the only time it'll be seen. It will not be seen again. Likely.
Yeah.
Video, can you push in there, please? That's good.
Loving these shrimp on these dives.
Yeah.
Might
Much
be.
more charismatic than previous dives.
Shrimp.
Big old charastylid crab there. Squat lobster.
I don't want to burst your bubble, Rennie, but ROVs are going to be as common as drones in the lifetime of most of the kids in this room.
Yeah. Still a lot of
They'll be all over the planet.
that'll be a lot of repeat places. Still only just a tiny little bit that we see
All
everywhere.
right, video, come wide, please.
True that.
Can you
We
imagine
cover a lot of ground.
Right.
in 20 years time, I was complaining back in my day, we used to have to go out to sea to get our samples.
Well, we used to know every pilot by
coming.
name.
Yeah.
And now everybody's a pilot.
We used to have to wake up at midnight and work till 4 and then do it all again in the morning.
It's coming. The little blue ROVs, less than the price of a used motorcycle, hitting 300 meters. So that won't be long before they're at 1,000
I have a bunch
battery
of
power.
I have a bunch of friends who are
for
studying
another step.
engineering, and they're building their own ROVs right now.
Bridge now.
Yeah, the mate contests.
One more step, 30 meters.
High school kids are building
Thank you
ROVs
for
that can make
NA110,
1,000 meters.
What was that, Steve?
I was just making a note that this was a live scleractinian stony coral.
Did you want
in
to see it?
front of us. Yeah, just a quick zoom in. We got a really good picture of it when we were sitting down next to that sampling event.
Oh, it's the same one. All right, video, go ahead and push
same
in.
species, but different colony. This one looks live. So with Enelopsamia, interestingly,
good.
yeah, this coral can range from purple to yellow to white. And the interesting kind of morphological characteristic that distinguishes it is that all the polyps are always on one side of the colony, which is thought to be the down current side. So this one is a little ambiguous because where's the current coming from generally? What do you think?
Can't tell.
Well, if we use the coral as a record, it's probably coming from behind us, would be my suspicion. But they've been known to lie.
It's a little bonsai tree.
Yeah.
So this is
Maybe his rock move, Steve.
could be,
Yeah.
totally could be.
All right, video, you gonna come wide slow? Cool.
On that same line of thought, Renee, we could drive this same line with this ROV probably a dozen times and never see the same thing twice.
It's true. That's true. The resolution of what we got, only a few meters.
Yeah, needle in a haystack, huh?
Right. As evidenced by trying to find something that isn't a target, isn't a physical target. We had one cruise and they were marking individual bacterial mats to go
Oh my
back to,
God.
and I was like, well, good luck. I don't think you understand the resolution of the USBL and DVL system.
You want to see this fish, Steve?
Yeah, sure.
I would use the analogy, you know, the vessel is real,
All right, video, go ahead and push in slow.
real size on the HiPAC screen. So I'm like, you're talking about finding dropping a target on a bacterial mat. That's where the crane is versus where Argus sits, you know.
So
There's in the shadow.
I'm my memory's a little foggy. Did we see these on our watch this morning or this afternoon?
I think
The-
we saw them
The
but
dories?
mid-watch,
Yeah.
but after our watch.
After,
Yeah.
okay.
Like I saw them on the screen
We
downstairs.
I
But
did a little guest appearance on the 4 to 8, and I can't remember if we saw it there or if it was on our watch.
I think it was there. We've seen 4 so far
Yep.
on this watch.
So these will be as common as sliced bread. The
Oh.
shallower we go, but this is an Oreo dory,
Go ahead and come wide video.
or
Oreo Dory.
yeah,
sounds like a Finding Nemo character.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds tasty.
it hasn't. I don't think it has any relation to the blue dory in the,
Yeah.
in the film. but-
Blue Tang.
Oh, you
yeah,
want to push
blue
in
tang, it's
quick
not
We're
even
on
on
some
this
kind
one?
of loop.
Like what's
Video,
the-
you want to push in quick? Oh, it's facing us. That was kind of cute.
But this is the family is called Oreosomatidae, which is where
Ooh.
it gets
Hey,
its name.
friend.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, they're kind of frustrating like that when you're trying to get a shot. They poking around,
better be careful
being
of
very
itself.
friendly.
Go towards the light.
Is there
Don't go towards the port or starboard lights.
is there something on Herc that's attracting the fish? Because that's the second one that's been poking its head up there.
Probably the lights.
Yeah, so the fish are,
Ooh,
and
this is cool.
sometimes,
You want to push in a bit there, video, as we drive by?
so we did learn that actually those coral, or those Oreos are corallivorous. They, Ken Sulek, one of our associate or partner scientists on the shore, scientists ashore,
Should be one
was
right behind
mentioning
it, right?
that they take nips out of the out of some of the corals we were seeing on the way up, the Pleurocorallium, the white little stubby coral fans. This is really interesting. Super brambly. Ooh, can we zoom on the white coral to the upper right, the stony one?
Upper right.
Yeah, you see
The one
how
that's coming into view now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna go ahead and push in a bit there more, video?
I mean, I like the octocoral, but
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the other one right now.
Frame it up and then...
It's a great, great shot. This looks like it's a...
It's this one coming into frame, right?
That's right. I can actually see the sclerites, the plates on the soft coral, but this is what we're looking at right now. This is a stony coral, different genus and species from the one that we
You
were
want to
looking
focus
at
on the
just
front
downslope.
coral there, video? All right, we'll have to move pretty soon, but let me
Yep.
know when you're good on your...
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic imagery. This is a coral called Madrepora,
All right, video, you want to come wide slow?
also known as zigzag coral.
Yeah, it looks like the polyps are every node
Coming up.
of zig and
Right up.
zag.
Yep. Oh, there's some more. So we were noting on the way up on the 4 to 8 when we started to see the rubble that it was a mixture of Enelopsemia and Madrepora, so we expected to see it here.
The boat
Good
stopped
to
just
finally
so
see
you
it
can take your
alive,
time.
though.
Yeah, we're not heading any further into that cliff. We should be all right.
Ooh. Let's look at this day.
That's what I was expecting to see on the other mound. Something like this. This is old. This is old coral. Can we get a few beauty shots with the lasers on this, on the left-hand colony?
Left-hand colony, roger.
Yeah, and then some with lasers on and some with lasers off.
Sure.
And maybe
Get Mongo out of there.
yeah, Mongo out of the frame there.
Roger, we can push in a bit there right now to get Mongo out. There you go.
So the craggly bits, kind of at 12 o'clock right now,
And
are
iris down
really,
a
really
bit there,
old,
video.
dead coral rubble.
And go ahead
But
and
you can
push
see
in.
the live portion where the polyps, it looks a little feathery. This is all Madrepora, probably Madrepora oculata, zigzag coral, but it's been there a while. Like it has a, sometimes we call these pre-fossils when they start to accumulate a crust of some type, or discoloration. I don't know if it's actually crust or not.
We're pretty getting kind of close to that wall.
Coming up.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm watching it
So
there in Mezzo.
Can
Yeah,
we
it's
get a
like-
view of the live polyps, the one
I'm
that's
watching
the
it.
upper
Okay,
right?
we're all right.
The ones to the right, roger.
Upper,
I didn't
yeah,
want
upper
to pull
right.
you on the shot.
No, that's fine.
Does the live coral grow over the skeleton of the like older dead coral?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So there's a couple ways. It could be that the live coral is just the most recent growth, or it could be newly settled recruits
Do you
onto
want to turn
the
off the lasers there,
old
Dan?
coral.
Sure.
And the new recruits
Thank
will
you.
grow on top of the old coral. But this is, yeah, this is pretty spectacular growth as far as
Video, you want to push in a little
stony
bit more there?
corals are concerned.
Fill the screen, Jess. All
Yeah.
coral all the time.
Yeah,
There
Yeah.
you go. Beautiful.
this is a huge observation because we're preparing some experiments to try and understand how these things are growing. What's the depth here?
The depth is 996 meters.
996. Beautiful, exactly where they should be. We're trying to understand why they're growing in this place. What about the environment is so
Right
attractive
against a rock now.
for them to grow and persist like
Video,
this?
you want to come wide
for
slow
so
there for a
long.
moment?
Because this
You
is
can
actually
push in a little bit
quite
more.
a stressful environment for stony corals
Right there is
because
good.
they're living at
Come back
conditions that
around.
are stressful for them to make a skeleton. Namely, the calcium carbonate concentration, the mineral aragonite, is undersaturated at these depths relative to shallower depths.
Anyone else you want to see over here or there?
Yeah, can we kind of just do a little pirouette as we zoom out and take a scan of this whole area and take some captures?
Sure thing. I get down a little bit more before I do the pirouette.
You can come all the way around to your left. Should be on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do some National Geographic beauty shots here.
Roger.
You got like the urchin, you got
You
the
can go ahead and
shrimp,
push in
you
a
got
little
the
bit there, video.
sponge, you got the, like this is the complete picture.
Yeah, that's good right there. Thank you.
So you can see actually that these deep water coral reefs, we'll call them reefs, they're kind of small scale, but they actually do support a lot of the diversity of life, and there's a lot more we can't see. So I'm seeing sponges, tunicates, you know, shrimp. I see all small little anemones and octocorals inside the matrix. I see all sorts of potential areas that polychaetes could hide, you know, worms that burrow into the skeleton. There's a whole community that these things support. And you can see how off to the left-hand side, that's the recently fallen stuff. So I'm guessing, I'm guessing that, you know, that's pretty fresh. You know, maybe died in the past few years. Interesting that I'm still not sure what the disturbance that caused that was. Maybe, you know, we know that these dories are corallivorous. Maybe they're, you know, munching on the tips of the coral polyps, causing them to break at certain points. But we also know that the urchin that we saw at the base here of this stony coral outcrop, urchins are bioeroders, and they will often chew on corals, usually for the epifauna that grow on the coral itself, but in the same process they bioerode the coral and break it apart.
Watch your bubble cam there.
Yeah, getting
There's
close
a little
to it.
fish.
Thank you.
Getting the fish
Still
in the
got
community
room on
too.
your port side.
Yeah, this is great. All right.
Plenty of room before you touch the
Zoom-
Niskins.
Zoom out and do a overall shot one more time before we move on.
Sure thing. You want to come wide slow there, video?
Yeah, so that urchin, like down below, that's what I'm talking about. Bioeroders.
That's good. You can keep Mongo out of the shot.
Nice. And then lasers on one more time for scale.
Lasers on.
So we're looking at like 30 centimeters tall about for the left-hand colony, and let's say at least that for the right-hand colony. It's totally possible that this owl could be one colony too, it's just that the center part died and they're genetically identical. Was there any indication the stony coral that they sampled in the forward right box, was there any indication of an ID for that? Was it?
I think they had a Canthogorgia. Let me check again.
We're all set here, we can move on.
Roger. All right.
Forward bio box, starboard compartment.
Starboard was they said small. Oh wait, that's not the stony coral.
Running still 060, correct?
Roger that.
All right.
No, there wasn't an ID on that stony coral that we sampled.
Okay. I'm gonna run back to ship house to see
Dan,
if I
would you
can
mind?
get some images of that, because I'm curious
Actually, never mind. Stand by.
which one they got.
So Steve, I'm not quite sure on HiPAC where they departed the seafloor, but even going similarly next to it, like Dan was saying, I don't think we're going to cover the same ground.
Yeah, that's.
But I
totally
doubt
fine.
they would have gone down this slope at least, so just somewhere at the top, we'll see.
Yep. The red track on HiPAC is Herc, right?
Yes, yeah, and they have an indicator for where the top is, but not when they left the top. So not quite sure when they went in mid-water, maybe somewhere around here where we're currently at. So we may want to deviate our track a bit. It's up to you.
No, this is fine. Let's keep going up like this.
Okay.
I'm seeing more of these cup corals, and I'm thinking, you know, eventually get up here a little bit more. If we see another one, I might want to grab one of those cup corals in a slurp.
Sure thing. Yeah, you do.
Coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, this is all of these corals here. We're reasonably confident of their identification. I've sampled a bunch of them. myself in the Phoenix Islands, this is a primnoid octocoral in the genus Paracalyptrophora, probably Paracalyptrophora hawaiiensis. It was identified and described from samples off Hawaii, but it seems to have a very widespread
060 on it.
distribution
Roger. Thank you.
well, that's a big old crab there.
That's a big crab. I want to go. Can I?
Yeah,
Do you guys mind?
Let's go for it.
All right, video. You want to push in slow there? What are you doing? I feel like I'm spying on his luncheon.
Just trying to like cram into that corner.
It's like, yeah, when you try to
Get super close, you can do a zoom on his little mandibles there. It's really freaky.
yeah.
Yeah, video. You can push in some more. They're pretty stable.
So we
Go
saw this
full
on,
if you want. Ooh,
Heartland.
ooh, we're gonna see a predation event, maybe. No.
This is a crab in the genus Chasion, and we saw it earlier, but this is definitely one of the oldest, gnarliest ones. You know, you can tell that it hasn't molted recently because it's got lots of barnacles and yeah, there are barnacles attached to its carapace. But it's probably eating something.
Go ahead and push in some more there, video.
Oh, this is gonna freak me out.
Dun 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 dun. Okay, I'm gonna do one video so I have a bump down there.
How often do crabs molt?
Yeah.
I love his
It-
face.
It depends on
Look at those little guys.
depends
They're
on their
pinching
age, I
at the
think.
water.
I don't know if they molt regularly or if they molt more frequently. Well, I think they do molt more frequently when they're younger. I don't know if it's well constrained for these this species, the Chasion.
I think we could
Ooh,
see
what's
more
he
of
got
it
in
eating
his
if you
jaw?
That
bump
is
down.
eating something.
Oh.
Should we do one more bump?
Yeah, one more bump and then full zoom. You'll
Looks
be
like
able
some
to
fish, maybe something
completely
shiny.
gross me out.
Poor Oreo Dory.
Yeah, probably a piece of Oreo.
Oh, too much. Dan, you wanna
I can do it, yeah.
do one soft up?
Get Western with it here. Sorry,
Back to where we started.
it's gonna move for
These
you.
crabs are
Yeah,
scavengers.
Dan, magic touch. All right, video, you can push in a little bit more there on his lovely face.
Oh, it's a pod.
Is
That's
that full
full?
zoom?
Never mind.
It's grossing me out already. Gonna have nightmares for days. Predator flashbacks.
I love it. It's so cool.
He's got a lot of moving parts in there.
Oh,
Too many moving parts.
Yeah.
lots of oil for that cog.
Yeah.
What's he munching on?
I think there was a
It was
fish.
a bit of fish, yeah.
Is that a little isopod? The little white
he's
The little
holding
yeah,
more
red and white
little
things are
whites.
amphipods.
amphipods.
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
holding something. No, maybe it's just his claw.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, you can't really determine the sex of these things until you look at the underside, but it's difficult to say, you know, if this one is just old and doesn't molt very often, or if this species just doesn't molt very often. But when they do get a new molt, they'll have a fresh carapace. It won't be fouled up by barnacles and things.
All right. Let's
Why is he?
have a little wide, slow,
Why is
please,
he
video.
flicking his? He's doing that little flicker thing.
Yeah, those are sensory antennae. So it's
That's
basically
nice.
tasting and smelling the water.
You can keep on coming slow, wide.
That shrimp's trying to get a piece of what he's eating.
Totally.
Shrimps
It
in
is a
danger.
sea star to the. Is that a sea star to the lower left?
Looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
it, yeah.
Flush to the rock there.
Yeah, I mean, we're parked here. You want to look at it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna park, stay parked for a minute.
Yeah, we're not in a rush. You know, we're kind of close to the top of this thing, so we're gonna poke around and do some beauty shot work and sampling as necessary.
See if the light's all right for this. Do one more bump. All right, video, go ahead and push in there.
Huh.
Can you tell what that is from this angle?
I can tell what that is.
Sti-
So it is a sea star, and I just want to be sure about the name, so I'm just going to double check myself here.
Want me to center up on it and get a better
Yeah.
image of it?
Yeah, I think we'll see some more, but yeah, sure, if you're...
I mean, I'm parked right now.
Okay.
All right, Dan, your magic touch again.
Huh. That should do,
All right,
maybe.
go ahead and pull in their video.
Or back where we started.
Yeah, I think so. You can pull in video. You can keep pushing in. You can keep, just go, yeah.
I made it worse that time, sorry.
You're good.
All right. So this sea star, we don't have a good image of it, but I think we'll see some more, and we'll definitely see some more in the next few days as we dive shallower.
Okay.
I
You
think
wanna
is in the
come wide
genus
slow video?
Tremaster. Tremaster, possibly in the species Mirabilis, and I've seen this a bunch. It was actually really cool because not until recently has it been seen alive, but Tremaster mirabilis was seen extensively throughout the Pacific during the Okeanos capstone expeditions, and it usually has more of an orange wash, but you know, it can vary. But yeah, certain that this is Tremaster, and we can send some photos. I think we'll see another one, so maybe we'll get more of a profile shot as we move up.
Try and spin around a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to go
You're
see what's
up.
over here.
I have to remember the story about this one. It had never been seen alive, only collected from trawls and things over history.
You mean this one right in front of us?
Yeah, is that the same thing? It might be a
Looks
little
like
bit
a
different.
star.
Might be different.
Looks like a
but-
cookie star.
I think it's a
Did you
little
want to look
different.
at this one, Steve?
Yes, please.
There's a little lip.
Yeah, this one might not be the same. Ravioli star.
This is a slightly different cookie star from
Yeah.
the one we've seen. Let's see, what's our 985. Cookie stars are pretty diverse in form from what we've seen in this area.
All right, I'm parked here. I'll tilt down a bit here. All right, video, go ahead and push in there. Kind of looks like a diatom. Okay, I'm gonna center it up and do one bump down.
This is great imagery.
Ah.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this might be Plinthaster.
Whew, that's a limb you're going out on.
So we have really good imagery of a lot of sea stars from
You can push in a bit more there, video.
from previous expeditions in this area, but it bears a strong resemblance to Plinthaster.
It almost looks plastic.
Yeah.
Let me know when you got your snaps there.
Got him. Thank you.
All right, video.
Very nice. Thanks.
Sure.
So far on this dive, we've seen sharks. We've seen. Have you ever seen the shark? Seen the shark on this dive? No.
The shark that happened 4 minutes after our watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
It's
one.
kind of pretty.
Exactly.
Not salty about it.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe we'll go for the live one.
Yep.
You want to push in a bit there, video?
Maybe. What is that behavior?
That's good.
Doing some stretches, calisthenics.
Yeah. What a strange creature.
I love it when things do yoga underwater.
It's been a couple of years, but all of the Feather Star like weird facts and things are coming back to me. There was something strange about the length of the tips of the arms that
All right, video, you want to come wide slow,
makes it
please?
distinguishing.
Full wide. Great, thank you.
Crinoids are difficult. Two Oreos, bunch of Oreos here.
Oh, a small batfish at
Oh yeah, looks like it.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's look at it.
No,
Good eye.
batfish.
What's that? Well, that still talks to you, doesn't it? So,
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh, there you are.
But I can hear you.
All right, video, you want to push in there, please?
Whoever's listening to you.
That's good. Or he's going to focus in on the batfish there.
Beautiful batfish.
Sure. Go ahead.
How does one focus on a fuzzy thing?
Roger.
Is this the same Halakmetus niger that we saw yesterday?
I think so.
So cute.
I couldn't tell you the difference without
You can push in a bit
having
more
some-
there on it as we
some
kind of
input from
hold this
the
frame.
fisheries scientists ashore, but
Oh,
let's
It's
see
actually full zoom.
at least
Roger.
if we get the
I'm
genus
getting
right,
off
we'll be in
station.
good shape.
I'm going to come wide slow, please.
But that is perfect imagery. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah, no.
Is that a little crevice here and there? Is that what I'm seeing? Or is that just the sheet flow?
I think that's sheet flow.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's
right.
kind of slanted.
Right.
It's a hillside.
Big sponges. Haven't seen many sponges on this dive. A couple of these ball sponges, glass sponges, maybe. I can't tell if they're glass or demo sponges. A lot of rubble.
Looks like there's not many corals over here. All right, going back to the left.
It's a mixture, you know. I think we're finding the rubble in these gullies and divots in the rock, but the Paracalyptrophora likes the flows, or is more flow tolerant. It's relatively flat slope terrain.
What's the angle of this slope here?
It's a good question.
Not sure.
Decently steep.
Yeah.
Do you want to try and look, can we look along the slope to give an estimation? Or to
Sure thing.
have a visual approximation?
Yeah, I can jump up a little bit and look over.
If you want to know for sure, we could do a little measurement, but if just visual works for you, then that's
Visual's fine. I was just kind of wondering if it's past the, like, because it looks like a lot of the top part of the lava flows have just kind of like broken off and gone downwards. And I was wondering if this is past the point of like the slope failure point of like 30 degrees when stuff is more likely to just break off and get landslides and stuff.
I would say this is more or less parallel with the contour, so it's your judgment call. Maybe 30, maybe 45.
Okay.
Probably more along 30.
Okay.
And what's the current doing? Is the current coming towards us right now?
Let's have a look. It's not very strong right now. We're not really getting blown around. If I had to take a guess, yeah, I think it'd be coming from the north, based on those particles. Do you want us to step up the slope a little bit there now, Steve, or you want to explore around here some more?
Yeah, let's go up slope a little bit more.
Roger.
Rob says there's a magical mystery garden under the sea at the top of this thing.
Okay.
Is that the same crab?
Same guy.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll move over a little bit so you see something different on the way up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
and
master.
Oh, did you want to zoom in on your starfish before I...
Yeah, just a quick zoom in to get a profile shot on a better angle. Do it on the fly.
For sure. you want to do a quick zoom? It's good.
Looks like Tremaster. Oh, there was a common name for these things and I can't remember.
Can barely hear you now, Steve.
Mike was a little bit further away.
All right,
So
video, you want to come wide there
interestingly,
slow, please?
I'll have to look up what the depth record for Tremaster is, but this is pretty deep for them.
I get out of that coral.
So we have records of them up to 800 to 1,000 meters, so it's reasonable that this, yeah, we're right in there.
It's a
This
cool
actually
shape.
looks well,
Ready?
Line Islands.
Yeah.
This is exactly like what we're seeing here.
Bridge nav.
Madrepora and possibly Tremaster, Mirabilis.
One more step, 30 meters, 060.
See, we were talking about coral bases down in the mess, and a lot of these little patchy white semicircles or circles look like old bases of corals that have fallen off, drifted downslope. They persist for quite a while.
Oh, cool. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, it's tough to tell if they're sponges or something like that, but in this case, these are coral bases. Probably these look like octocorals, not so much the scleractinians. The scleractinians will form these
Video,
scraggly
you want to push in
bases.
quick?
So I'm guessing these belong to an octocoral. Maybe
That's good.
Maybe the primnoids we've been seeing seems more reasonable. They could also be scleractinians. Tough to tell. About maybe 7 to 8 centimeters across in diameter here.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, video, you want to come wide?
What's that?
It's a nice little scavenger community here of shrimp. Crabs, there's at least a couple crabs in here under the rock. These collapsed lava flows are really great habitat for things.
Letting go of a stick, it looks like, yeah, it's about a north moving current, moving from the north. Let's try it for a third time saying it.
Can we zoom out one high pack just to see where we're at relative to our track, dive track?
Here's where Mike did his little ring around the bowl. He was calling.
Oh
the
yeah, I
top of
heard him
bolt.
say that.